Let's play quietly. Hey everybody, this is Brian here from Let's Play Quietly, and this is another installment of our weekly Whisper series. Today, I am talking a bit about Mass Effect Andromeda, which I have just started playing because I have EA access, and you can download I believe it's a 5-hour trial. And so, right now, I'm going through and creating my character, and you can see that there are different training focuses that you can choose from: security, biotic, technician, leader, scrapper, and operative. The reason I wanted to talk about Mass Effect a little bit is because I am extremely excited to play the new game. I am a big fan of the Mass Effect trilogy, the original one, and I'm really most excited to get into the single-player storyline and campaign because I am a role-playing game nerd. I believe I picked Scrapper, by the way, for my training focus, and you briefly saw the character that I had created in the beginning. You actually get to choose between a male or female sibling, and I think that both siblings still appear in the game. So I am playing the female sibling, and her default name is Sarah Ryder. I have changed her first name to Nita, and I am going with the Scrapper training, which is basically, if there's a fight, you sort of throw yourself into it, which is a little bit different than I normally play role-playing games. I tend to be more of I don't want to say a sniper, but more of a stealth-based or support class kind of player. That's the way I like to play any sort of co-op game, but I kind of wanted to play a character in this game that was not overly using biotics, which is their magic system in the Mass Effect games, and just get used to playing the melee combat and the weapon combat and stuff like that. So, I know this probably sounds stupid, but I don't really care about the combat anyways in the Mass Effect games. I care more about the story. So, you also get to customize your twin, your sibling here, so I just tried to pick a sibling that looked like they could be remotely related to my character, and I didn't do a lot of customization with them. The customization system in this game is not super deep, and so there's not a ton that you can really do with it anyways, but it's not bad. I mean, there's certainly plenty of options, so in any case, I don't generally mess with a lot of that. What's interesting here is they're asking you to choose the history, whether there was a female shepherd or a male shepherd. I played female shepherd in the original trilogy, so I know that your character stuff doesn't carry over, but there is at least that bit. So I've created my character. I'm going to jump into the game, and this is not really a Let's Play, so you're not going to see a lot of gameplay in this episode, but I thought it would be cool to share the beginning of the story and just the setup. So I will read some of this text to you as they dole it out here. And I think this might just be the credits, but we'll see. still. Here we go. Electronic Arts presents a BioWare production that Brian is very excited about. It says, every great moment in our history began with a dream. Each bold leap forward was achieved by those willing to do anything to attain it. We are all of us leaving behind families, homes, the very birthplace of our species. Some for discovery to see the unknown, others for a new start. But today, whatever our reasons, we take the first steps toward a new future for humanity. Today, we begin to make our dream reality. And of course, we're seeing all the ships getting ready to leave because it says in the year 2185, humanity lives in a golden era of interstellar travel. Our discovery of ancient alien ruins on Mars propelled our understanding of science and technology ahead by thousands of years. While many now enjoy the newfound freedom and challenges of exploration in the Milky Way, others look to even more distant stars. For the 100,000 adventurers embarking on this one-way voyage, the future begins in Andromeda. And so the premise of this game is basically, I think that it takes place between the second and third games of the original trilogy, or that was its origin, but now we are 634 years later. So humanity has sent all of these people to the Andromeda galaxy to find a new planet to begin again on. And so you are waking up 600 years basically after the original series, and you're on the Ark Hyperion, and there are 20,000 human colonists on this ship, and there are other ships as well. And so that is the premise of the start of the game, is that you are part of a group of people who have been in cryosleep for basically 600 years, and now are waking up in this new galaxy. And as it's starting out, you see the cryo chambers that people have been in, that you are getting awoken from. And the first time that you're going to get to see your character is when they wake up from cryosleep, as you can see right now. So this is Nita Ryder, this is my character, and she's a little wobbly in waking up from cryosleep. And so, this is basically how the game begins, and, you know, not to, again, do a word-for-word let's play of it, but just to kind of talk about the series in general. My main draw to the Mass Effect series is wanting to explore new worlds and meet new types of races and characters and all that kind of stuff. And for me, the story is the main thing, and so I certainly have fun with the combat, but for the most part I'm not playing Mass Effect for the combat. And I've heard some early comparisons of this game to the original Mass Effect, the first game, which for me is my favorite game of the series. By the way, you can see the dialogue tree is similar to the original Mass Effect, where you are just picking an option from the wheel, and the little blurb that it gives you is an approximation of what the actual dialogue is, not word for word. So, but the first Mass Effect was very much a role-playing game, and I am someone who grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons. In fact, when I was in like 5th grade, I bought the original red box set from the older brother of a kid that I went to school with. And that was the beginning of my sort of love affair with D&D and my introduction really into role-playing games. And so, anytime that I can play a good, story-driven, role-playing video game, I'm all for that. I love the Dragon Age series, and I love the Mass Effect series. But what disappointed me about both of those series was that when they went from the first to the second to the third game, they lost some of the role-playing aspects that I really enjoyed, and they moved to an emphasis primarily on combat, and that was not the direction that I had hoped that they would go in. So, for me, hearing that this game is similar to the first Mass Effect is very encouraging, because the first Mass Effect was very much a role-playing game that emphasized the dialogue between characters. You could solve problems by talking people through them. If you were building up your skills of persuasion, you could affect conversations in different ways than people who didn't have the same skills. And so it was really that, coupled with the worlds to explore and the new characters that you were meeting. Just with the first game, I love the first Mass Effect. And I feel the same way about the first Dragon Age. Dragon Age Origins is my favorite of the series because it was very much a role-playing game, and it felt in some ways like it captured the tabletop feel of a pen and paper role-playing game, much like the Mass Effect series. Though, as the Dragon Age series went on, it became much more combat focused and much less focused on the role-playing aspects. I thought that the latest Dragon Age game, Inquisition, was a return to the RPG roots of that series, and I really enjoyed it. And maybe at some point I'll do some videos of that for this. But I'm excited about the role-playing aspects of this game. As you'll see, I like to explore everything and talk to everyone and look at everything when I'm playing these types of games. And what just happened that I didn't really talk about here was that your brother is not able to be brought out of cryosleep immediately. There was a malfunction with his cryo chamber because of the ship colliding with something. So I'm sure that he'll show up later, but he's not initially there. So I'm basically taking this time before I really dive into, the next mission or the next task that I have to do, to just look around. So right now I'm poking around the cryo chambers and just seeing if there's anything to discover or read about, or any terminals or anything, and there isn't, but still the design of this area is pretty cool. It has a very Stargate feel to me, so that's kind of exciting. And you can see on my HUD that there is a place that I'm supposed to be right now, but I'm just kind of poking around. I don't know if that stuff gives you XP or whatever, but I really like the design of this ship so far, and I look forward to spending more time in it. It feels big, which is cool. And you get to meet some of the other characters in the game here. I don't know if any of them will be party members, but I like to talk to everybody, like I said. So I've only spent about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes with the game so far, but I love it, and I am going to be spending a ton of time in it. I don't usually do much of the multiplayer, but I may dip my toe in that more this time around. But really, for me, Mass Effect is about the single-player campaign, and I am just getting into it. I have the trial through EA Access, so by the time this comes out on Tuesday, and you won't be hearing this till after that, but by the time it comes out on Tuesday, I will have put a good chunk of hours into the game already, so I expect that I'll be doing more videos on Mass Effect. I'm probably not going to do my entire playthrough of the game, but if you like Mass Effect and you like this video, and you want me to do more Mass Effect videos, then let me know in the comments, because I am going to be playing a lot of this game, so. But that's sort of my ramble for this week. It's really just that I'm super excited for Mass Effect, and I'm so glad it's here, so. If you like this video, then please click like and subscribe to our YouTube page, and I will be back again soon with another weekly whisper.